Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to completely reframe how you look at competition, success, and honestly, just focus in general. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by what everyone else in your industry is doing, or if you find yourself scrolling social media and just feeling like you're falling behind, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're unpacking a really powerful mindset shift from creator and entrepreneur Raj Shamani. It's a whole philosophy about shutting out the noise, redefining who you're actually playing against, and achieving a level of focus that most people, frankly, just don't get.
So I want to break the fourth wall here and ask you directly, why do we care so much about competition? Think about it for a second. No matter what field you're in, climbing the corporate ladder, launching a startup, creating content, it seems like our immediate human instinct is to look left, look right, and constantly compare ourselves to everybody else. But why do we do that? Especially when you think about where most of us are starting from.
Because listen, the reality is, most of us are starting from absolute zero. As the source material points out, a lot of successful people didn't start with, billions of dollars to reach audiences. They didn't have these crazy, high-level government connections. They didn't even have a first-mover advantage. They had nothing to fall back on. When you're starting from scratch, your only real leverage is pure hustle. You literally just have to grind your way up. And when you're in that building phase, looking at what someone else has is just a massive waste of the very limited energy you've got.
Which brings us to a major mindset shift. We really need to rewire how we think about rivals. See, what people think the competition is are other individuals or rival companies. But what the true competition actually is, it's people wasting their time on entertainment. This is a real game changer. If you're building something, your rival isn't the guy across the street building the exact same thing. Your rival is the sheer amount of time people waste being distracted. You don't need to care about individuals. You just need to capture the attention that's currently being thrown away.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the source frames this fascinating approach through nature. It's called the lion philosophy. We normally picture lions as these majestic, constantly active kings of the jungle. But the lion philosophy is actually this highly strategic cycle. It's a cycle of resting, sometimes resting so much that others might look at you and think you're just flat out lazy, followed by a relentless, singular hunt for your goal.
Let's break down exactly how this lion's routine works. Step 1, you rest and chill. You're conserving your energy. Step 2, you spot your target. You only activate when there's a clear goal, right? A clear hunger. Step 3, and this is absolutely crucial, you hunt relentlessly. Even if there are 1,000 hyenas snapping at your heels or 100 deer running across your path trying to distract you, you ignore them completely. And finally, step 4, you do not return home until you're successful. You aren't hunting just to look busy, you hunt to kill the goal.
The source captures this whole vibe brilliantly with this quote. Let the world think that you are lazy, but the moment you see something you can kill, you go for a hunt. I love the intense energy of that. Let the world misjudge you. Let them think you aren't doing enough because you aren't posting every 5 seconds or screaming about your grind. But when that strategic moment finally arrives, you strike with deadly, unwavering focus, and you do not back down until the win is secured.
All right, moving to Section 2, The Art of Obsession. Subtitle, Tuning Out the Noise. So how do we actually apply this lion energy to our daily lives? Well, let me be clear. You can apply this literally anywhere. It doesn't matter what your field is. Working a corporate job, running a startup, hosting podcasts, content creation, it's all the same. The requirement for that deep internal focus remains exactly the same. You have to become totally obsessed with your own execution, your own daily steps, and your own craft.
Now, when you do this, people are going to talk. And you just have to embrace it. As the source says, let the world say that you are obsessed. You are delusional. You are arrogant. When you step out of the comparison game and stop participating in all the industry gossip, people are naturally going to assume you're arrogant. They'll call you delusional for believing so fiercely in your own path. Let them. Your commitment to your own growth has to be stronger than your fear of their labels.
The ultimate goal here, the real superpower if you will, is to become the person who genuinely doesn't care. And actually scratch that, I don't mean that in a cynical or negative way. I mean reaching a level of internal peace where the opinions, the praises, and the critiques of the outside world genuinely do not affect your baseline. You're completely immune to it.
Let me give you a hypothetical from the source material to really illustrate this. If a massive, world-famous podcaster walked right into your office right now, would you even know their name? For someone who is truly obsessed with their own work, the answer should probably be no. You should be so disconnected from the so-called competition, so totally engrossed in your own lane, that the titans of your industry could walk right past you and you wouldn't even blink. No way.
Because here is the harsh reality about the people who do notice everything. Distracted people, the ones who are constantly commenting on the competition, they usually aren't winning in life. Think about it. If you have enough free time to sit around analyzing what everyone else is doing, you definitely aren't working hard enough on your own stuff. Constantly looking outward is usually a sign of internal hesitation and, honestly, jealousy. It's way easier to be jealous of someone else's success than to put in the grueling hours to build your own.
Think about the number 500. To put that into perspective, it doesn't matter if you're ranked number 1 in your field, number 50, or number 500. True winners, the ones who actually have longevity in the game, are just happy and obsessively crushing it right where they are. Number 500 can be having the absolute time of their life, deeply fulfilled, simply because they're only focused on their own daily improvement.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our next section. Put your blinders on. Subtitle: The Tactical Application of Absolute Focus. To really understand this, I want you to visualize something with me. Have you ever watched a high-stakes horse race? Just picture the massive crowds, the sheer noise, the dust kicking up, and the incredible speed of these animals running shoulder to shoulder.
Now, these racehorses wear specific gear called blinders. Blinders are placed over their eyes to completely block out their peripheral vision. Why? Because horses are super easily distracted. If a racehorse running at top speed turns its head even a fraction to look at the horse next to it, it loses momentum, it breaks its stride, and it loses the race.
We operate exactly the same way. You must focus entirely on how fast you can run. You have to ignore if someone is 500 steps ahead of you, ignore if they're 500 steps behind you, ignore if they're talking about you, praising you, or insulting you. Every single time you turn your head to check someone else's pace, you are slowing down your own.
So the directive here is firm and completely unapologetic. Put the blinders on and do what you do, shut out all that external noise. Stop reading the comments about other people. Stop checking their stats. Just lock your vision dead ahead on your own finish line.
And that brings us to our final section, the ultimate realization. Subtitle: Your world is only what matters to you.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when you strip away that illusion of competition. Your entire universe should be fiercely protected and limited to just 5 things: you, your family, your work, your community, and your goals. That's it. That is your 100%. Anything outside of this is just noise. It's just a distraction trying to steal your energy away from the things that actually sustain you.
I want to leave you with this powerful summary quote from the source. The world is you, you are the world. Everything else? Who cares? Just think about how incredibly empowering that is. It's the feeling of looking down the track, seeing the goalpost, and realizing you're running entirely alone. The competition isn't even real. It's literally just you against your own potential.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to let this final question sink in today. If you are the world, why are you looking outside? Seriously, stop checking your periphery. Put your blinders on, find that inner lion, and go hunt your goals. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope this helps you eliminate those distractions. Now get out there and get to work.